All right, bro. So before we even get into who you are, I gotta ask you. You know what I mean? That song you did, Greenwood, that really hit me. You know what I mean? Because of the history tied to Tulsa's Black Wall Street background.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you. You know what I mean? When you wrote that, was it just music, or was it a statement about who you are and where you come from?
To me, to me, bro, it was a statement more so about what it was like to grow up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, knowing that we was worth something and there was a lot of money here, but also being under the thumb of a situation that we had no control over from the 1921 riot and et cetera, and not being able to reap the benefits of what our people worked hard for,
Hmm.
and the truth being swept under the rug, and then the agenda being pushed on us that we was all we was good for was selling drugs, gangbanging, and killing each other.
All
So
right. So
I really
go
did
ahead.
that song for all the people that I lost along the way that I wish was with me.
Yeah, because I mean that was a touching song. You know what I mean? And I want to shout out to you for that. You know what I mean? That song came with a lot of passion in it.
I appreciate it, bro. For real, I really, really, really do. That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I did that song when we was on tour with Kevin Gates and Lil A.
Yeah.
And
For the people that may not know who you are, you know what I mean? Go ahead and introduce yourself. You know what I mean? Tell the people who the Super is and what you represent.
My name is The Super, aka Big Super. Super stand for stacking up paper again. You know what I mean? Everything fucking impressive around here is my label. EFI. Yeah, I mean, absolutely fire branding and marketing is the company. I'm with Boosie Badass. I do a lot of work with. I've done work with Young Thug, Nipsey Hussle. You know, Boosie, Webby, Fox, Wayne, Hurricane Chris, Filthy, and list goes on. And I really do it to show a lot of the young youth, which I'm proud of today, because a lot of people, acknowledge that I did inspire them to get into it and really, and shout out B Reed and Fame and Young Nation. Yeah, my God.
Now, where you from?
Northside, 4900 Elwood Block, Tulsa, Oklahoma, right by Tasty Freeze.
Okay. You
Yeah.
started rhyming at 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? With the Dr. Seuss and bedtime stories from your mom. What
Yep.
do you remember the most about those early rhymes?
Well, what I remember was when I was learning to read, I had a teacher named Miss Zugelder back in elementary school, and she sat with me. And it was my first book, and it was that, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. You know what I mean? Thing one, thing two. That whole that whole pattern, and that's
Hmm.
how I got my concept and understanding of rhythm, and that was just from just that simple thing. I don't like to do nothing normal. I don't like to do nothing the same way people do, but I like to have fun with everything I do. So, you know,
All right. At 11, you know what I mean? Moms had bought you the Word of Mouth, you know what I mean? The Ludacris album and the Great
yeah,
Depression with DMX. What
yeah,
did what did those records unlock in you?
bro. That growing pains on Word of Mouth. You remember that song? Bro? That we was trying so hard,
Hmm.
and hard to survive. Cause even though we were young, we had to stay strong. No matter what we went through, it was me and my crew. It just reminded me of Tulsa, and that's
Yeah.
how it is when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? Like then DMX was just like just one of the best rappers alive and ever. But like he's just a good reminder to me that the industry don't value authentic. You know what I'm saying? Real things like what I mean, walking with Christ and walking with God and Yahweh Yahshua, Alhamdulillah, however they
Hmm.
identify with him. You know what I'm saying? Isn't praised in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really a manipulative factor by the masses. You know what I mean? But it's a whole lot deeper conversation than that. I know you're familiar with it. I'm sure we've talked about
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
We can go into that agenda on a different note, but a lot of that inspired me. I was inspired by Easy E and Fabulous. That's where I say I got my style from.
You also mentioned, you know what I mean, Nas was one of your idols coming up, you know what I mean?
Bro,
What,
Nas is done, bro. Not if I ain't gonna cap, bro. Nas changed my life with his music.
what was it about his style that made you gravitate towards him?
Man, it was that from one mic to If I Ruled the World to Stillmatic to I mean when I say and he meant everything he said, but then it's the ether. When I heard ether, it hurt. Man, I was sold. It was rap.
Jay-Z. Yeah,
Oh man, I promise. I couldn't imagine being Jay Z and, and everybody in the city. Like, hey, I know you. They calling your phone like, ah, man. So, what you gonna eat today, bro? You walk into the food spot and they bag and eat the doo fuck Jay Z. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
damn. And it was
Radio
facts too.
stations. Yeah,
Like that man told everybody in the world that Jay Z sold his soul for riches. I was on a song. I said, "Wow!" Like, and I mean, it was like not a lie. Like, and then see, I love Nas because after they blackballed him in music, he got in the technology industry and
hmm
started the that mixing and mastering the mixing and mastering equipment. Yeah, you know what I mean.
hmm
So it's like to me, music should just be like an advertisement for your lifestyle and what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Music is the has the words picks up when you don't got the words to say something. Like you can play a song and explain how you feel, but you got to also be educated with everything you do. A lot of people go into stuff wanting like the vision and the idea of success instead of going through the growing pains of success.
hmm
You know, it's not fun to hurt, but it's fun to heal. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to heal, but it don't feel good to hurt.
No, that's real.
You know what I'm saying?
You linked with Three Mo Inc. and Mark Man Music Group, you know what I'm saying, around 21.
Yeah,
How did they help shape your career path?
that's how I got with Chief Keef. You know, yep, I get him that. That's how I got with Chief Keef and Sosa, along with Dre Delgado. Shout out Dre Delgado. That's my brother, my producer, my partner on this label. We got with Sean Ferrari. Shout out Sexy Red too. We got a whole lot of music coming out with that. I just did 2 new tracks with Mike Will.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, they got me in the game there, and that's when they got me. They also helped me get into the. I was the second. I mean, I was the first person in history admitted to my school with no application. Uh, that was Academy of Contemporary Music (ACM). It's 2 in the world, the other one in London.
hmm
Shout out Scott Booker and Derek Brown and the Flaming Lips, the rock band from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They are the ones who paid for my college. Too.
Yeah, you got a lot of connections. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But that Superstitious Volume 2, you know what I mean? That went viral.
Yeah, they,
Did you expect, you know what I'm saying? And it even reached overseas. Let's talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, did you expect that kind of response when you dropped it?
man. To be honest, I had no expectations, bro. And that album, Superstitious Volume 1, Superstitious Volume 2, was really about my family and my mom and my dad and people I cared about. But I
hmm
called it superstitious because it's what you believe in, and I felt like I was something you could believe in.
How would you compare your sound, you know what I mean, from early mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Early mixtape days, the tracks like Super Bad Me Mix.
Uh, how compared to,
Yeah.
I would say, bro, I didn't cuss back then. I was pure herb back then. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. So that time doing the lyrics, I actually didn't really know what it was like to go through the things that people went through in the trials and tribulations until I actually went through them myself. Like when my first child, when my baby passed away, or when my best friend passed away. I had 5 of my best friends die in my face.
My condolences.
Ah man, what I mean. It's a certain. My new album called A Certain Type of Pain.
It
So that's
speaks
gonna
for itself, yeah. I
you
mean, like I
know.
said, you work with a lot of people, you know what I mean? Waka Flocka, Tiger, Roscoe Dash, K Kemp, you know what I mean, and others. You got any memorable studio sessions or lessons that stuck with you?
Most memorable one was when uh, my most memorable one. Let me see. I gotta step out the room. Anyway. Let me see. Hold it down real quick. My bad. Oh, damn. I tripped over. I don't know. Wait. Hold on 1 second, buddy. My most memorable one,
Yeah.
I would say, was when I was with So back in the day, I used to have a little hard upbringing. You know what I'm saying? You had to, survive on your own, fight for everything. My bad. I'm in one of the spots right now, but I'm outside. So basically, the most memorable thing, I mean, encounter was with Scarface, right?
Yeah.
And Scarface from Houston. He we got booked for a show together, and like I used to say when I was a kid, when I was gangbanging, I'd be like, when I die, play that song on my block because I loved everybody around me. I love Tulsa. So, and I felt that song that on my block where everything is everything for
Mm.
seeds, on my block. That's how I felt. So when I said that, I didn't expect to live past 18 anyway. I never expected to really live past 18 no way. So, I just said play that at my funeral. And when I was 21, I got to bump into Scarface and he performed the song in front of me.
What was
You
that
know,
moment like for you?
I cried. I cried. I cried. And he gave me a hug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was deep to me because it's like, you know, I was like, you know what I mean? It was a private party too. That was crazy. Like, it was one of my homies' birthdays, and he booked them for like, and we just like, and it was deep because I was standing right behind him, like, you know what I mean, right on the shoulder, and I'm just looking at him the whole time, and I'm like, dang, you know what I mean? I thought in my head like, nigga, I was supposed to be dead when they played this song for me, and they played it for me while I was here.
What was that moment when you realized you made it?
Man, I would say, oh wait, man, I gotta hold on. That's like the moment I realized I made it. I didn't, the moment never really dawned on me because I'm always making something. So it's like, I never actually resonated it, bro. I never really resonated it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
no cap. I today still, because I was in such a hostile state. I've been shot 8 times. So, you know what I'm saying? I had a pretty different upbringing. I mean, not upbringing, but I had a pretty different, you know what I'm saying? I have a great
Mm.
mother. My mother was phenomenal, you know. But so I was traumatized. I was fucked up. I thought everybody wanted to kill me. I thought everybody in the world. So I was like really in shelter. I went to a shell and just did music and stuff and kept doing it. But when I got out here back in doing shows and traveling, it was just like so many people would tell me like, bro, man, you the reason that this is Tulsa. Like Tulsa, Oklahoma, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when people say
Mhm.
it, the light in their face and eyes is like real. Baby, like I remember you, Bio Nasty. I remember like y'all had the biggest, bro. I remember seeing y'all on this, and it's like, you know what I mean? And I'm still like everywhere, you know what I mean? But it's just surreal, I guess. It's like your life is a movie, and you the superhero in the movie. Is you gonna be a lame superhero or a tight superhero?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I choose to be a tight superhero. Crowd surfing though, with Super J at 103.5. Summer Jam was tight. I think that'd be another moment.
Yeah, I didn't know you had been shot.
Ah, yeah, bro. I got shot for no reason actually for the first time because they thought that I don't know I was somebody else, and it's Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? It really don't bother. It didn't phase me. I had to cut the bullets out because I didn't want to go to the hospital because I didn't want my mom to know.
Right. Yeah. What's the difference in the energy, you know what I'm saying, when you collaborate with local artists like, you know what I mean, Tulsa, OKC artists versus mainstream names like Atlanta, Texas, anywhere else?
you know, when it comes to that, I feel like local artists more so would go with like they I feel like a lot of local artists would like, and I'm gonna be honest about it. I don't like people to compromise their style to come fit. You know what I'm saying? With what I'm doing or what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do love collaborating. Like I want to do. I want to get another track with Phil Sosa, Mike the Don. We got a few tracks together. That's my brother. Uh, June, my brother. I mean, Highland Star. You know what I mean? Bash. I mean, there's so many artists. Tony D, Steph Simon. I mean, we all was in the same around the same era and the next era. You know what I mean? Coming up. You know what I'm saying? My brother B Cinco. So
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love the fact that I feel like I had an influence on a lot of the artists that I mean, that really came from Tulsa. Because I was rapping on stage when it didn't seem cool, when people stared at you and was wondering like, why is this nigga rapping? You know what I'm saying?